Aaron Boone's up in Boston for the big series against the Red Sox. Aaron, how you been? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How you doing? I've certainly heard that song.
You know it. But listen, I tell you what, maybe you and your wife join me and my wife and Evan and his wife at the concert next year.
Oh, I've always wanted to see him in concert. So
done. February, Madison Square Garden. I got you.
We'll consider the joining with.
Well,
Yeah,
hold on a
that's
second.
later date.
Hold on a second.
That's pretty much him saying not going to happen.
Hang on. Evan, you're disinvited. All right.
That decreases your chances.
Now it's just the four of us, Aaron. February, you won't be playing. Spring training won't have started. He's playing the Garden in February. Consider it done.
All right.
All right. Now, see? Told you he and I would get along great. All right. Now, lots of things to get into. Amazingly, you wake up, you're like 3.5 games out of first place, and you're playing the Boston Red Sox. So you're playing essentially for a chance to get right up into first place. 2 weeks ago, you were 8.5 games out of first place. You know, we ask you a lot about the identity of the team, and do you feel like it's happening? I'm going to guess that you feel different today than you felt 10 days ago about them finally figuring things out?
Oh, no question. Yeah, we're definitely moving in the right direction now, and obviously getting some key guys back, and so certainly feel good about where we're moving, especially offensively, getting closer to the team we think we can and should be, and we're still not there yet, but I definitely feel like we're moving there.
All right, Gary Sanchez has carried the team offensively, and one of the things that I was very critical of this week was the decision with Garrett on the mound after the day off. How do you not have his bat in the lineup? Recognizing that you guys said he's going to play the next two, so he's going to ultimately play the same number of games. But he's got the hottest bat on the team. You know, so to me, we're at a point now where it is what it is. You know, he's not going to catch Garrett Cole at the start of a game. And I wonder how much debating you had amongst the staff in forcing him on Garrett Cole for that start.
Well, I don't look at it as forcing him on, and certainly we had some debate about it, especially coming out of the off day. Now, the way the schedule lines up, over the next, couple weeks, it probably kind of works out with like day game after the night game. We're in a stretch here of 13 in a row, so there's going to be those times it makes sense. I actually like it, the other day, because I think highly of Higgy too. Getting him in there, he hits a homer that day, and I also have a pretty good weapon sitting over there on a bench and also keeping him off his feet a little bit. So, look, it's going to be a continuing conversation that I'll have, and at some point, I expect Gary back there with him, and then we'll go from there. But right now, the way where Gary's at right now in his return to what we know he is and can be is forcing more of that conversation, no question.
So let me say this respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
Is it your decision or Garrett's decision? Can he say to you, I want Higgy, and he gets him? Or do you have a gun to your head? Who makes the ultimate decision, you or him?
Ultimately, I'm making the decision, but it's a conversation that I have with, coaches, pitcher, catcher, as you kind of map out, usually a couple days ahead, you try and, pick where you're going to pick your spot. So it'll be a conversation that I have with a lot of people, but ultimately it comes down to me making that decision.
Have you had a conversation with Garrett recently about his comfort level with Gary behind the plate?
No, but he's always done pretty well with him. The thing about it is as Gary struggled last year, and then obviously at the start of this year, and as well as Higgy is playing, and as good as Higgy is behind there, it's kind of a little bit of a dynamic duo thing that those two have had going. So it's more that than putting a guy with them that don't connect.
So they don't connect then?
No. More so than.
He's saying it's not that they don't connect. I got you.
It's not a case that they don't connect. It's a case that the other two has been a really dynamic pair. And as I was reluctant to do it, towards last year and even the start of this year, now, especially with Gary getting hot, I've kind of grown to like it a little bit in that it's the one day I can get Gary down and have him as a weapon off the bench late in the game, which he certainly has been.
So what happens first then? Gary catches Garrett Cole, or Gary DHs and Giancarlo plays the outfield?
Woohoo! I don't know.
Will any of that happen?
We'll see how the schedule lines up. We've got another at National League Park. We're in Miami at the end of July, so I'd certainly like to have G as an option then, and we're working towards upping his workload is.
And by the way,
to hopefully keep him as an option.
If Stanton played the outfield, we asked the question once and move on. I think it's less of an issue because if Stan's playing the outfield and Gary DHs and you've got the Higgy-Cole combination, it's like, great, you got all the bats in the lineup. Okay, you're sitting Clint Frazier. No one's going to cry over that, and it's no big deal. So it sort of becomes a Giancarlo issue too. Like, okay, well, when can he play the outfield? So is that something you feel he can do on a more consistent basis so that you can get the best of both worlds, which is keeping Higgy together with Garrett, but then getting all your best hitters in the lineup at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, that's one way of certainly looking at it. The other thing is also the catcher's going to need a day once a week, once a time through the thing. So you got to look at it that way. And as much as I want Giancarlo out there because it gets our best alignment out there, to throw him out there, especially when he's posting right now and healthy, to all of a sudden throw him out in 9 innings in the midst of everyday playing.
Right.
I want to make sure and feel really good about that.
Okay, now eventually you hope to be playing in the postseason, playing big games in September. Do you feel that these guys, Gary Sanchez and Garrett Cole, are going to have to work together at some point? Because it's only 8 innings combined this season. Last year, I didn't think it was a problem, but it was opening day and the 2 innings. So they don't have a lot of experience together. Are you going to feel a need to, despite how great the Higgy-Cole combo works, hey, if I want Gary to catch Garrett in big spots, and I think we'd all admit in the postseason you're going to want everybody in the lineup, no off days, that they're going to have to start working together relatively soon?
Yes, that's going to have to be part of the equation, especially as we feel like where Gary has gotten to in his game. He's clearly back to being the wrecking machine that we believe he is, and if that's the case, then absolutely, yes, we'll have to do that.
Talking to Aaron Boone as we do every week. Aaron's up in Boston. Huge series. I don't want to overstate it, and I don't want to minimize it. It is a huge series against the Red Sox, considering you guys got swept by them at Yankee Stadium a couple weeks back, and now you're nipping on getting closer to the top of the division. So there's 3 very, very important games for the New York Yankees. Question about Aroldis. Obviously, you know this is going to come up. It was everyone saw it. He obviously blows the save. Couple fluke plays in there, the little broken bat, infield ground ball, etc. Was he more pissed at himself for how he pitched, or was he more pissed when he came into the dugout and yelled and screamed because he felt like you told him he was going to pitch to one guy and then walked him?
Yeah, I think it's a combo of that. And ultimately that's on me. The bottom line is I got back to the dugout, and because I felt like there was some uncertainty or kind of that talk of let's pitch carefully to him with a tying run at third. I didn't want that to turn into, bouncing pitches or whatever. But that said, as I certainly looked at it after the game, and I try not to just be totally whatever the result was, but looking at it with, even though a base open at second there, I still think I typically don't like to do that and bring the walk into play. It was just one of those nights where, with Perez leaving the game earlier, having a backup catcher in the 3-hole is a little bit of a unique situation. And when I got back to the dugout, I just felt like I didn't want Santana beating me. That was the rationale.
Right.
In really taking a hard look at it and kind of sleeping on it, I feel like we probably should have gone after Santana. And ultimately that's on me. And I probably, because that surprise came into play, I think that generated some of the reaction.
So when you go out to the mound, because I thought it was it's a fascinating decision to make. It's go against the book, but get the much favorable matchup. But obviously, you risk bases loaded. What happens?
You liked it, right?
Aaron, I loved it. I really, it's from a strategic standpoint, I loved it. But I want to get to the meeting because I'm fascinated. So you go out to the mound. Did you ask him his opinion? How did the conversation go as far as what you guys talked about and how you discussed the situation?
Yeah, I just wanted to get, as I was kind of thinking through it myself, I wanted to at least hear and see where Chappie was on it. And so that was me getting a feel from him.
And what did he say?
And he wanted to go after him, obviously pitching, carefully in that spot to him, but felt like, he knows Santana. He's got a pretty good history with him, and felt like he wanted to, just the being careful in that situation concerned me a little bit. And I just got back and I said, I'm not going to have Santana be the guy beating us when we have a guy that's just up from AAA as a catcher sitting there. It was a unique scenario. And I made a decision that, in the end, I think I would probably take back.
So is it because the decision, look, it didn't work, but it didn't work because Aroldis Chapman couldn't throw a strike. Was it more how it was handled than the actual decision? Like if you went to the mound and said, look, here's the deal, Aroldis, I love you. We're going to walk him. Okay. And here's why.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think it would have been different for him if you just told him this is what we're doing?
Yes, I do.
So is that the thing you regret, or is it the idea of walking him?
Yeah. I think ultimately walking him, I don't think that's the right play in there, especially when you're talking about Santana, who's a high on base guy, but not necessarily a high average guy, but obviously with power, So, I think in really examining it, I probably would have gone the other way, but also handled it a little bit different on the mound, like gone out there and with my decision in place.
See, the thing is, I guess someone's sitting at home, all I look at is strategically what's the best move. And like I said, I loved it. I thought it was the right move to make, but whatever. Do you have to make decisions based on how you think your players are going to handle it? Like, is that a part of the decision-making process? Because Aroldis is a competitive guy who says, I ain't walking anybody. F that. Is that a part of how you have to make these decisions around players?
Well, I think that's always the feel part you've got to have. It's ultimately you're trying to, get the most out of each individual player, and it's my job, our coach's job, to kind of tap into how do we do that, and there's a psychological element to those things as well that you absolutely have to be part of the consideration.
Why has Aroldis Chapman struggled as much as he has over his last, I'd say, 8 appearances?
Right. I don't really see it that way, honestly. I mean, he hasn't been quite as dominant necessarily, but take out the Minnesota outing. That was an outing where he clearly struggled and didn't have much, and they got to him. You look at his next couple of outings, stuff's been there. He's gotten big outs. Even look at the other night. He goes strikeout, base hit, ground ball up the middle, strikeout, bloop to right, and then I walk Santana, and a walk and a check swing later, and it's like Aroldis is struggling when really stuff-wise he's been good. I feel like he's in a good spot. So I think you got to look at the outings sometimes and what's happening in the outings and make judgments on the stuff and not always on, a consecutive result.
But I think it was Sunday's game, and if I'm getting it messed up, now obviously correct me, where you went out in the middle of the inning, and I at home it looked like you were probably saying, why the hell do you keep throwing off speed pitches? That's how he took it. What was that conversation about? Because obviously you saw something that bothered you.
Well, he had a cracked nail. He was dealing with a nail issue. So that was one of the outings, too, where he was kind of pitching through some soreness where his nail had cracked on him. And so that was affecting his command for those first 2 hitters. And then all of a sudden he obviously got the big ground ball for the triple play. So that was more of a, physical thing he was dealing with on his finger that night.
Do pitchers get manicures?
Yes.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Is there like a team manicurist that comes by every week?
I don't know if we have the team one, but yes, but a lot of them do because some of them do get issues with their nails.
See, Evan, I told you, manly dudes get their nails done every now and then.
that.
Yeah.
How's Gio Urshela doing? Is he back in the lineup tonight?
He's back today, yeah. So he was out early hitting and took ground balls and kind of went through everything, and so he's in there tonight, yes.
I don't want to overstate one series over another, but do you guys at this point look at all of the standings and recognize, hey, despite a very up and down first couple months of the season and underperforming offensively, blah blah blah, that you guys are actually in a position going into July where you could be right there, if not in first place, very very close? Do you guys discuss that or talk about that?
I don't know if I look at it so much as that, like, oh, we got to get to first place by July or this. We got to play well, and the bottom line is we're in a position. We understand where we are in the standings. We control the script. We're in control of this script, and we have plenty of. I think the way I put it, we have plenty of runway to write the story of our season, and so obviously we dug ourselves a little bit of a hole these first 2 months, but not one that's going to take a miracle to overcome. Like,
no, I mean a good week in theory. You're back.
Yeah, we got a ton of games left. This is obviously a very important series against a really good opponent and someone we're chasing. But I feel like if we play our game and realize who we are, reach our potential as a club, we'll be where we need to be at the end of the year.
What'd you think about what Joe Girardi did to Max Scherzer? And could you see yourself at any point doing that to an opposing pitcher, whether it's because you thought the guy was doing something for Fugazi or just to kind of play mental games with him? What'd you think?
Look, I don't know exactly Joe's reasoning.
He said he thought Scherzer was going to his head.
Yeah, he
more than he's ever seen.
He noticed him touching his hair more than he ever has.
I will absolutely not do it from a gamesmanship or a mind game standpoint. In fact, it's very clear. It's been made clear to us, the managers, that we're absolutely not supposed to do any of that. So if I were to do something like that, I would have to absolutely feel like a guy is out there going to a particular spot or definitely loading something up. We would have to feel very strongly about that.
Are your guys annoyed by this? Your pitchers annoyed that they're getting checked as often as they are? How have they reacted to it?
I think our guys have reacted pretty well. I mean, it's a little weird and awkward, especially here in these early days. But I think our guys have handled it well, and hopefully it's something that over the course of the season, over the long haul, is something that ultimately puts more of a level playing field. That's what we're all hoping for out of this. It's unorthodox and it's a little, it's probably
weird.
Not perfect.
I thought Garrett Cole was funny when he said, because they didn't check him after the first or second innings, and he said after the game, he goes, I was looking around like, I'm ready. Anybody want to come check me? Get frisked. Let's go. And I guess they waited till the third inning for him, so I thought that was funny. Last thing for me, we talk a lot about guys coming back from injury, and can they jump right back into the lineup? Do you put him back in the lineup right away? Blah blah blah. And I got to tell you, Luke Voit right back in the lineup, and I mean you can't say enough about that dude. In the first couple games he's been back, he should have 2 more home runs than he's got. But he has been awesome.
He really has. I mean, look, he's as underrated a great hitter as there has been in our league the last few years. He's been incredibly consistent, and when he's healthy, he's a wrecking machine too in the middle of our order. And I think he's as healthy as he's been. When he came back from the knee injury, he was all good on the knee, but remember he got hit on the hand I think in his first or second game, and I think that contributed some to him probably altering some things even subconsciously that might have led to the next injury. But he's in a great place physically. We had him do a couple more rehab games than probably he wanted to make sure he had plenty of at-bats and plenty of build-up so that when he came to us, it was hit the ground running, and he certainly has.
Was there a small part of you that thought or worried they might put him back to second base after the fan dropped the ball and left?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Well, he should have been on
You're
second
like,
base.
Let's go. Leave him on third. We'll put Wade in. We're good to go. Let's get going.
You know what? Yeah, I was looking at it. It was kind of. I was actually. It's funny you mentioned that. I was reviewing the kind of the letter of the law rule too on that play actually a few hours ago, and so I kind of tip my cap to them for coming to the conclusion that they did. Now, I think if there's no fan involvement, I think it's a home run and it goes through and it's a homer. So I was a little frustrated that we didn't have a homer,
Right.
but I tip my cap to them for saying.
What's the reasoning for putting him on third? Because I got to be honest, and I came on the air the next day saying, boy, logic tells you he's on second base. The fan clearly touched it. What's the letter of the law reason for why he was remained at third?
Yeah, so if the interference doesn't affect with the catch, which obviously could turn into an out,
right?
You know, they have the ability. You just don't always see it with them placing the runner. And Luke did a good job of continuing to run, and they made the conclusion that the way the ball bounced off the wall and where he was, that he would have clearly got to third base. And
boy, they never call that.
My cap to him for that.
They never call that. That's amazing.
We had the fan on that dropped the ball, and we took care of business with him because he embarrassed himself. He's from Howard Beach, and he dropped the ball, hit him in both hands.
Oh, wow.
Brutal.
Yeah.
So are you the kind of guy, like when we go to this concert together, and I got I'll take care of the garden, you got dinner. Are you the kind of guy, like, do you listen to the artist on the way to the event to get pumped up for it, or do you wait till you get there to hear it so it's fresh?
You said the last question you had for me was the last one for you.
On baseball. That was a baseball question. I'm
true.
done with baseball.
Oh, okay.
Like, are we going to rock out to, like, the best of Elton John, like, pregame style, or what are we doing?
Yeah, I'm open to that, you know.
Right.
But, I mean, Elton John's one of, you know, he's good in any mood, you know, whether you want to. I could work out to Elton John. I could sit on the porch and have a glass of wine to Elton John. I could be at the beach, Elton John.
True.
His music.
Well, you're going to be on you'll be on a deck in New Jersey at my place first. We'll listen to Elton John, and then we'll be.
Can you imagine?
No, I can't actually. Aaron, my last question, and it's much more important than this fantasy Craig has.
It's not fantasy. It's happening in February. I'm calling James Dolan right now.
Okay, as you may or may not know, I'm a diehard Nets fan, and I appreciated your baseball team being there at Game 7. All right, as a diehard Net fan, it meant a lot to me. Even though I'm not a Yankee fan, I appreciate it. I saw Judge up there. I saw Gio up there. It was great. Where the heck were you? Why weren't you there?
So let's see. That was a Saturday night in front of
a 1 o'clock game against Oakland.
He's got kids.
Yeah. And every Yankee was there. That suite was filled. They were rocking it. They were pumped up.
I know. And you know, the Nets are my second team, and you know, I'm friends with Sean Marks, and I want them to do well, obviously, except against the Sixers. But I had Sunday night after the game Sunday was Father's Day, so I was barbecuing on my green egg Sunday night. But Saturday night, I took my wife and my daughter. We went to dinner around the corner.
All right, fair enough.
So you're a green egg smoker, huh?
Oh yeah.
A homemade recipe, or you get like you go to the store?
What do you mean?
Do you have like an Aaron Boone dry rub, and you have like a hickory farm in your backyard? You have a bunch of dwarves cutting down wood for you. Like, what are we doing?
I try and have some signature stuff, but I utilize the store and some of the good products.
All right, so bring some of the signature stuff when we go to the Elton John concert. All right. Enjoy. Good luck in Boston. We'll talk to you next week, and take care. Thanks, pal.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right. Aaron Boone, the manager of the New York Yankees. We're going to have so much fun without you there.
No shot it's going to happen.
Dude, I'm going to email Dolan right now.
Right. Yeah. Are we playing wiffle ball with Aaron next week, too?
Yes, we are. Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is a better shot of happening? The wiffle ball on Friday with Aaron, or you on your fictitious double date?
What's fictitious about it?
It's not going to happen.
Okay. It's not going to happen. Okay. All right, watch. I'm going to send an email right now.
Which one's more likely to happen?
You're out.
I don't care anymore. Trust me. I'm fine.
Do you want me to include you?
Not after you said you didn't want me there. No,
and your wife didn't say hello to me, so that's going to be awkward.
Even your daughter confirmed that she said hello to you. You blew her off to say, hey, how's dinner going? You moved on to the next thing. She was already saying, hi, nice to meet you.
I can't wait.
By the way, just because Dolan's giving you tickets doesn't mean Boone's going to go.
Boone's going.
No, he's not.
He just told you he's a diehard Elton John
He
fan.
didn't even go to Nets Game 7, and he had a good excuse, by the way.
I think one of his kids graduated, and he had Father's
Trust
Day,
me,
and his daughter. And
there'll be
everything.
an excuse in February.
There will
it's a week
not be
after
an excuse.
Valentine's Day. I'm with my wife.
No, we're going.
Okay.
And I guess we won't be barbecuing in February.
No, but I am definitely out. Once you said I'm out, you don't get me back in. That's it.
I respect that.
Yeah.
No, I respect that.
I'm very
You're
firm
out.
about that, so I'm out.
You should be out.
And I
You're
don't
right.
want to be in anymore.
Part of you does.
No, not at all.
Because you'd want to talk baseball with him the whole night.
I would not talk
Which is
baseball
why
with
I'm disinviting you. Because if Aaron and I are going to build this amazing personal for friendship and relationship,
Right.
It'd be like if I brought him with me to Elton John,
Right.
and I brought a third person, you, or anyone not named Evan Roberts,
Right.
and the whole night the guy was like, but his whip was 4.37. And what do you think about the
What
unit?
makes you think I would do that?
But if you did it, that reflects poorly on
There's
me.
a better
then
chance.
I'm the bad guy.
There's a better chance Aaron and I would talk about the Eagles and the Sixers than I would about the
But you
Yankees.
follow
and
what I'm
baseball.
saying?
Yeah, but you're wrong. No, I follow what you're saying, but you're wrong.
So you would not.
No, not baseball, no. The fact he's a Philly sports fan, yes, I'd admit I could see that happening. I could
Like
see
talking basketball. Hey,
like it's
Embiid, hey,
February.
Ben Simmons.
Yeah, like trash talking the Nets and Sixers, even though I like Nets. That I admit.
Yeah.
But I would not be talking Yankee baseball with him. I would not be breaking
But I
down
think just talking
the
sports at
1990.
all.
No,
Yeah.
that's different because he's not a basketball player or a former football player. He's a fan. One thing about Aaron, and you could tell, is he's a fan. He's a fan of those teams, genuinely. He doesn't kowtow to, I'm in New York now, I'm a Giant fan. He's an Eagle fan. He's a Sixer fan, which you have to respect. But anyway,
I respect everyone's fandom if it's real.
But
Yes.
and he's real. But
And
it's-
he's real.
But
I
it's
agree.
too late. I'm not going. So you guys can
No,
enjoy the day.
we agree you're not going.
Oh no, I'm already
That's
telling
not
you.
on the table.
You just said maybe I'll invite you again, and I said no.
No, but I'm
so
thinking about it.
technically, I've already rejected you.
I disinvited you.
Right.
You should say, well, then don't invite. I'm done.
Yeah, which I did.
And then I'm thinking out loud of why I disinvited you, and it just reinforced that I made the right decision.
No, you said, hey, would you like to go? And I said, no, you've already disinvited me. It's done. It's over. So technically, I'm the winner in this, and you're the loser.
Just
Because I said no.
confirmation. Done.
From Dolan.
Yep.
That doesn't mean Boone's going to go.
Do-do-do-do-do.
So again, what is a better chance of happening? Wiffle ball on Friday or Elton John next February?
Say it again.
Oh my God. What has
I was singing the words to one of my favorite Elton John songs in my
By the
head.
way, it reminds me-
Leave on like... Go ahead.
It's similar to when I asked Boone, what has a better chance of happening?
Yeah, go ahead.
Gary actually catching Cole or Giancarlo playing the outfield. And based on his answer, none of it's going to happen.
Yeah, I know we're going to take a break in a second, guys. Just hang tight. Plenty of time.
What's a likelier thing to occur? Wiffle ball with Boone on Friday
That's
at
a
Yankee
lock
Stadium
also.
or Elton John in February? What's likelier?
Well, the wiffle ball is happening for sure.
So you're saying the wiffle ball.
That's done.
So you're saying both's going to happen?
Yeah, they're both locked in. Done.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not worried about either one of those.
Okay.
Unless I throw my arm out tomorrow.
Oh, that's going to be the
at
excuse.
Jersey Mike's in Suffern, New York.
Aaron,
on Route 59.
I wish we could play, but I injured my shoulder again.
CeeLo's got an update coming up. The Aaron Boone Report's brought to you by Jersey Mike's. Tomorrow at 12 o'clock, I will be at the brand new Jersey Mike's on Route 59 in Suffern, New York, raising money for Matheny Medical, which is an amazing hospital and home for developmentally disabled folks, and for One ALS. Oh, no, I apologize. I Am ALS. I apologize. I Am ALS, which is a great foundation that helps raise money to one day hopefully find a cure for Lou Gehrig's disease. And that'll be tomorrow from noon to 2, Jersey Mike's, Suffern, New York, Route 59. We're going to raise a whole bunch of money. Hopefully you have a chance to come out and buy a sandwich and say hi. And that they sponsor the Aaron Boone Report as well. CeeLo with an update. I'm back to you on the horn. Plus, we have traffic games coming up in just over an hour here on The Fan.